Hi guys, I'm just about to get to a Polar Plus charger. There it is. And I'm going to basically summarise in this video whether or not it's been worth subscribing to this Polar Plus subscription service thingy. Because I've been doing it for a few months now and I've got a pretty good idea of whether or not it's worth it for me. If you don't know what the Polar Plus is compared to the Polar Instant and whatnot, then watch the previous video in my channel. I'll kind of get you up to speed. Okay, here we are. Now, this has been in for 2 or 3 years, and it's always been a 7 kilowatt per hour charge post. Now, because there's two points on the post, now they're both set to 3 kilowatt per hour. So they've been downgraded. Now, the only reason I can think to do that is one car can get 7 kilowatt per hour charging, but if 2 cars use it, it can't support 14. So they've dropped it down to 3 on both sides, which basically means it wasn't installed properly in the first place. I don't know. So that's a bit annoying, because 3 kilowatt per hour will, well, it's bordering on pointless. Right, let's go and plug in. Okay. Same as last time. Oh, in fact, the one on the right is red, so that's not working. Okay, plugged in. The RFID card out. Okay. Well, that doesn't say whether or not it's 3 or 7, so I'll just have to guess it from how much charge I get, I suppose. Although now the post on the right hand side has turned blue. So I guess you have to use the post on the left, or rather the point on the left, then the one on the right if someone else wants to charge. I don't know. If anybody can figure out why the I'm charging on the left, the one on the right was red and is now blue. I don't know. Right, so I'm plugged in. I might as well start with reliability first. Now, this uses the RFID card rather than the app that Polar Instant uses, and it's been faultless as far as using it goes. It's not had any problems at all, so that proves that RFID card is the way to go, Mr. Ecotricity. All the charge points have worked. Granted, there haven't been many, and this has worked each time. And other than that one that I've just come across now, with the red light on the right hand side, which is now turned blue, it's been good. So reliability, I've had no problems at all. Although from what I gather from reading people's posts online, it's the app that is less reliable than this thing. So yeah, that's been good so far. So this is a 3 kilowatt per hour charger. So I mean, at the moment I have 53% on the car. So I reckon to get to 90%, you're probably looking at about 4 hours, maybe 5. Right, so is it worth subscribing to the Polar Plus subscription service? Well, for me, because it is kind of individual, no, it really isn't. I have used this charge now I'm doing now in 3 months is the 7th time I've used it. I've probably gained about 50 to 60% of charge, which is let's round it up to 15 kilowatt per hour. I have gained from Polar in 3 months. Now, at the moment, it's free. You get 6 months free as part of the subscription, so it's a no-brainer. But if I was paying for this at £7.85, I think, per month, then I'll have saved £1.50, £2 maybe, and it'll have cost me £7.85 per month, sorry. And I've been doing this 3 months, so financially it makes no sense at all for me to do this. However, there are very few charge points near me. This is my closest and it's 9 miles away. So there is that. The local supermarkets near me, and big ones as well, none of them have a charge point. I'd have to go to Bradford. I live near Skipton, and that's probably a 15-mile journey each way just to get to a Polar charge point. So it makes no sense. There's a dozen supermarkets closer than that, and none of them have a charge point. So my biggest problem is, as it is for the most of Western North Yorkshire, it's a total black hole when it comes to electric car charging, and because of that, it's not worth it. If there were charge points in most car parks, for supermarkets and council town car parks, then it would make more sense. So if you work, for example, in a car park, or if you park in a car park for work that has one of these, it would make every sense in the world. You could pretty much rely on that and almost never charge at home. If the supermarket you go to all the time has got one, again, it can make sense. So for me, no, it doesn't make sense at all, I'm afraid. Now, am I going to keep the subscription going when the 6 months free stops? I probably will do, actually, which kind of contradicts everything I've just told you. Mainly, or I suppose only, because of the Polar Experience, as they call it, where you can get the Tesla Model S or BMW i8 and various other cars. The more you charge, the more points you accumulate. Again, it's explained in the previous video. But for that reason alone, I'm going to keep the thing running, because even if I just use it once, if I pay 6 months worth of subscription, for example, hell, if I pay 10 months worth of subscription at £78.50, if I get a BMW i8 or a Tesla Model S for a week for free, it's worth it. It's worth it just for that. I just need to accumulate enough points to win one for the week. So that is going to keep me subscribing. There is a kind of nice, feeling of being able to just pull into one of these and use this at any time. So although financially it don't make sense, it is convenient. Now, all charge networks kind of operate like this, but how Polar works, from what I can gather, is that they don't own any of these points, or the vast majority of them. This one I'm using, for example, is owned by the council. Polar just administer it and kind of look after it and stuff and make sure these work. So if that stops working, they then presumably contact the council or whoever's paid to maintain it to then come and fix it. One of the other charge points I use in Baildon, several months back, it stopped working basically, and it was offline for 2 months. It took them 2 months to fix. And when I rung them up for the 4th time saying, why is this not working still, they basically said, oh well, we've contacted the owner, the council. They've contacted whoever's going to fix it, and they're saying that it's been damaged, so the council needs to pay for the repair. The council are saying it's not been damaged, it's a maintenance thing, and basically it was who was going to pay for this, and that went on for ages. So for 2 months the charge point was down because of politics, I guess. It is a bit of a pain in the ass, to be honest, when things like that happen. That needs sorting out, and this isn't just Polar, this is across all charge networks. You can't rely on one of these, because if it stops working and you rely on a single point, it could be months before it's repaired. So as far as, if you can't charge at home for whatever reason, I wouldn't rely on the Polar network near me, because there's only one point, quite frankly, and that's 9 miles from my house. If you've got a lot dotted around, then I guess, there's a lot of kind of failovers there. That might make sense. Alex, I've just dropped my card down the seat and I can't reach it. So, yeah, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to stick with the subscription when it expires. And hopefully at some point in the next several months I'll be able to do a video about the Polar Experience when I'm driving around in an i8. For financial reasons, it's not worth doing. I would have been better off, financially, just using Polar Instant app. Although £1.20 to charge to get 4% is massively expensive and not worth it. The signage is okay. It does say electric vehicle recharging point only, not parking point. So anybody that's watching this, and there will be someone out there that does this, who parks in an electric charge bay without charging, you can't do that. You're meant to be charging. When you finish charging, you move. I know destination charging doesn't always make sense. If you go to a park and ride where you're there for 8 hours, you can't move your car, but you have to at least be charging for at least part of your parking. So there you go. Rant over. Have a look on the Polar map. It's quite easy to navigate. That will kind of give you an idea of what charge points are around wherever you visit. There's no point in having one near your house, because you don't need to charge near your house, you charge at home. Right, well in 25 minutes I gained less than, I think it was 1.8 kilowatt per hour. So that saved me about 18 pence. But overall, I'm going to say I would probably recommend people subscribing to it. It's going to increase the network the more people subscribe, so it helps them. There are other networks as well, of course, but Polar/Chargemaster do seem to be by far the biggest. And although financially it won't make sense unless you have charge points in the places you frequently stop at, it's worth it for me for the charge network Polar experience, as they call it, because that means I will probably at some point in the future get hold of an i8 for a week, free. You know, it's not a lot a month when you consider what people spend a month on takeaways, drinking. A couple of lunches is probably £7.80. Netflix, I don't know. So yeah, it's very, very much dependent on what you're like, where you visit. I do a lot of miles, and it still doesn't make sense to me. So it's not there yet. But if there were charge points in every car park, it probably would do. So yeah, I think it's been worthwhile for what I could possibly get from it. If you're not bothered about driving different electric cars, especially expensive ones like the i8 and whatnot, then it probably won't be for you, especially if you don't have any charge points in the regular places you visit. So hopefully that'll be of some use to someone. Probably not, I suspect, but the more charge points there are, the more people see them, the more people know about electric cars, the more, you know, it's a snowball effect. Hopefully this at least has been